Many countries have come up with different megaprojects, either individual or collaborative, that have caused a paradigmatic shift in the infrastructural and trade relations globally. The following are some such examples of the most impressive megaprojects in the world. The 30-meter telescope. India, along with Japan, the US, China, and Canada started working on the world's biggest telescope on Hawaii Island that will enable the identification of an object as small as a coin from a distance of 500 kilometers. The 30-meter telescope will be established near the summit of the Mauna Kea volcano with a cost of $1.4 billion. They plan to complete the construction in March 2022. Japan will cover about a quarter of the construction costs. In 2000, scientists proposed making a 30-meter, or nearly 100 feet wide mirror for a brand new mountain telescope. This insane venture would require 492 separate segments, bringing the mirror's overall size to a staggering 7,050 square feet. That's almost the same size as a standard basketball court. Although, that slam-dunking size would make it 12 times more powerful than the Hubble Space Telescope. The 30-meter telescope will be larger than Japan's Subaru telescope, one of the world's biggest, which was also built on the summit of Mauna Kea and started observation in 1999. The Subaru telescope's single main mirror measures 8.2 meters in diameter, while the 30-meter telescope will be composed of 492 hexagonal mirrors, each measuring 72 centimeters across. The 30-meter telescope's light condensing capabilities will be 13 times greater than the Subaru telescopes, enabling the identification of an object as small as a coin from a distance equivalent to 500 kilometers, the distance between Osaka and Tokyo. The 30-meter telescope will help astronomers observe stars that were born 200 million to 400 million years after the Big Bang. The 30-meter telescope will also have the potential to help identify whether planets outside the solar system have atmospheres that are capable of supporting life. The Pont Jacques Chaban-Delmas. The Jacques Chaban-Delmas lift bridge stands out in the emerging Bakalan neighborhood, both as a resolutely modern work of art and as the result of an architectural feat. Its rising central span allows for passage and anchoring of ships in the city center, its colors indicate the tides, and its spatial lines sublimate the port of the moon. President Hollande inaugurated the €160 million bridge, which connects the Bastide district near the city's wharves with Bakalan. He named it after the late Jacques Chaban-Delmas after the mayor of Bordeaux for 48 years, from 1947 to 1995, also a former companion of the Liberation, Prime Minister, and President of the National Assembly. The bridge is the fifth river crossing in the city of Bordeaux, linking the Quay of Bakalan on the left bank to the Quay of Brazza north of La Bastide, on the right bank. This also explains its original name, the Bakalan-Bastide Bridge. The bridge offers shared and secure traffic for all modes of transport, hosting 2 lanes for public transport, 2 tracks for pedestrians and bicycles, and 2 lanes dedicated to cars. Its central span, housed in a profiled metallic box of 2,600 tons, rises with lightness to 53 meters above the highest level of the Garonne. This allows for the passage for cruise ships and other tall ships calling on Bordeaux, Port of the Moon. While that still sounds hefty, it took construction companies just 3 years to install this essential superstructure. The Bailong River Bridge. On the Bailong River Bridge in the city of Weifang, in the Shandong province of China, stands a mighty installation that takes the title of world's largest spokeless Ferris wheel. The ride, which goes by the name of the Bailong Bridge Ferris wheel, measures a total height of 145 meters, already 10 meters taller than the world-famous London Eye. Kitted out with 36 carriages all able of hosting 10 people, the landmark will be open for the public to ride, and even boasts Wi-Fi and individual television sets in every carriage should you get bored of looking out at the magnificent view of the Bailong River. The structure marks the first time that a spokeless Ferris wheel has been constructed with a grid design. The wheel is planned out using the same design structure as a kite. The crisscrossing steel beams holding the Ferris wheel together have been described as a dragon spine, and the complex architecture is vital for pulling off the spokeless and shaftless design, making the center completely hollow like a giant high-tech wheel. Initially, the wheel was only going to measure 290 feet in height, weigh 3,000 tons, and cost a staggering $24 million, but the additional 185 feet and 1,600 tons mean that figure will be at least 50% higher, so probably closer to an eye-popping $36 million. The wheel takes half an hour to complete one rotation, plenty of time for tourists to snap up some amazing photos. Bratislava Upside-Down Pyramid. Opening in the late 1980s after a staggering 16 years of construction, the Slovak radio tower is an unmissable feature in the landscape of Bratislava. The building, an inverted pyramid of steel frame construction, was designed by Stefan Cvetko, Stefan Durkovic, and Barnabas Kissling during the height of socialist realism. But when it was finally ready, in 2012, the Slovak radio building in Bratislava has named the 10th ugliest building in the world. It is not one pyramid, but two. The inner pyramid houses all the broadcasting facilities and equipment, while the larger structure comprises space for music performance and public gathering. The building is 80 meters high and has a 522-seat concert hall with a large concert organ. Based on a series of competitions in the 1960s but finished only in 1985, the radio building is one of the most controversial structures in Bratislava, in its form of an inverted pyramid. The unusual and provocative shape has attracted much praise and strong dislike, as well as functional criticism for its unsuitability for radio broadcasting due to excessive noise, even though the main studios are located in the perfectly insulated plinth. The radio building was to have been part of a series of large public structures in a greenbelt along a planned circular boulevard. Despite the argument over the form, however, it is impossible to deny its impressive scale and cultivated architectonic composition. However, one must not forget that what is considered unbearable or ugly today may become beautiful and tolerable in the future. As such, buildings whose reputation or symbolism have been tarnished by communism should not be replaced or destroyed simply because they're currently seen as unattractive. Apart from the architectural value which the layman cannot appreciate, these buildings have a considerable historical and symbolic value for everyone. The Mir Mine. The Mirny Mine is one of the biggest human-made holes on the planet. It is so big it could even suck in helicopters, apparently. It is an enormous open-pit kimberlite diamond mine and is located in the old Yakut Autonomous Soviet Socialist Republic, now Eastern Siberia. The diamond-rich deposit was discovered on June 13, 1955 by Soviet geologists during the larger-scale Amakinsky expedition to the Yakut Assur. The mine is over 525 meters deep, making it the fourth deepest of its kind in the world, and has a diameter of 1,200 meters. The Mirny mine would quickly become the largest diamond mine in the Soviet Union. In the 1960s, it was producing 10 million carats, 2,000 kilograms, of kimberlite diamond per year. Astoundingly, around 20% of those extracted were of gem quality. Rumors abound that the now abandoned Mirny mine pit can suck helicopters out of the sky if they get too close. Although there have been no reported accidents of this nature, the very fact that it is a possibility means that the airspace above and around it is strictly off limits. But the mine has claimed lives in the past, but not from dramatic aircraft crashes. In 2017 the mine was briefly closed after water leaked into its underground mining operations. This trapped around 100 workers inside and all but 8 were later rescued. The flooding was so severe in some places that the rescue mission was forced to stop. So the Mirny mine is a potential death trap for helicopters and people. The Beijing Water Cube. The National Aquatic Center, also known as the Water Cube, is one of the most dramatic and exciting sporting venues for the Beijing Olympic Games in 2008. Enclosed within the blue bubble walls are 5 swimming pools, including a wave machine and rides and a restaurant, along with seating and facilities for 17,000 spectators. Though it looks like a big box filled with building-sized bubbles, this is China's National Aquatic Center, though it's known more simply as the Beijing Water Cube. It sits next to the famous and equally attention-grabbing Bird's Nest Stadium. The square shape of the water cube is a reflection of the Chinese symbol for Earth, while the adjacent circular form of the National Stadium, also design engineered by Arup, represents heaven. The form of the aquatic center was inspired by the natural formation of soap bubbles. Arup's engineers realized that a structure based on this unique geometry would be highly repetitive and buildable while appearing organic and random. The result is a very simple regular building form, with very complex geometry in the facade which is used for a beautiful effect. The highly sustainable structure is clad with translucent ethyl tetrafluoroethylene, a tough, recyclable material that weighs just 1% of an equivalent-sized glass panel. The bubble cladding of the aquatic center lets in more light than glass and thoroughly cleans itself with every rain shower. It is also a better insulator than glass and is much more resistant to the weathering effects of sunlight. All that innovation cost a bubble bursting $140 million to build. Now that's one seriously pricey pool. The Water Cube is being transformed into the Ice Cube for the Beijing Winter Olympic and Paralympic Games in 2022. Under the refurbishment, 4 tracks will be built at the original location of swimming courses to host curling events in 2022. The Future Collider. Researchers are looking to build a new collider 100 kilometers in circumference, dubbed the Future Circular Collider, that is considerably larger than the 27 kilometers Large Hadron Collider, currently the world's largest and most powerful particle smashing machine. If built, the deep underground tunnel housing the FCC would be nearly twice as long as the 57 kilometers long Gotthard Base Tunnel in the Swiss Alps. Don't expect joy rides, though, unless you are an electron or a proton. In the LHC's case, two particle beams travel at almost the speed of light before they are made to collide, so they could make that 17-mile trip in less than a millisecond. They reach these speeds thanks to the ring of superconducting magnets, which line the 17-mile structure, which is cooled to a frosty negative 271.3 degrees to increase their magnetic field. That's colder than space. The LHC alone cost an eye-watering $9 billion to build, but this future collider is expected to cost a jaw-dropping $24 billion. Which of these mega projects really blew your mind? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.